Hey guys, welcome back to DG.net. This is nethervoid, also known as John, doing another double header for you this week. And I'm doing the KV-1, and this is also the KV-2, getting these both out of the way on this new Russian tech tree here, Tier 5 and Tier 6. And hopefully I'll be getting the T150 next week, along with the new French TD, and just kind of keep knocking these out. I'm working on the KV1S as well, and I think that's it. Then I'll probably do the IS-8 after that. So the KV-2 is basically the old KV. I mean, if you look at it right here, and you ran the old KV with the 107, this is exactly the way it looked. It drives pretty much the same as well as the old KV. It feels like it's a little faster, but I don't think it is. It just feels faster. So it's an awesome tank, and mainly it's a little slow moving. It's definitely not fast. But the main thing about it is you got to use your guns that you got, and you got two really nice guns on this thing. The 152 derp gun, look at that. Pen still has a pretty high pen for basically an HE gun, 110 and 86 mil, so not really high, but 910 damage on that HE shell. It's pretty devastating even on high tier tanks. Or you have this 107 ZIS-6 with 167 pen and 300 damage. I think this is still the best Tier 6 in the game, even though it's been bumped up from Tier 5, and it's really because of the guns it gets. Just make it amazing. So basically what you're going to do with this tank, especially for facing higher tiers, is try to hide as much as possible. Hide behind buildings, use cover, try to not be right up front if you're not top tier. Kind of snipe, but not be a sniper, if you know what I mean. I mean, you need to get in positions to get some good hits, but what you don't want is some T-29 focusing you down. The funny thing about this tank is the Tier 9s or the Tier 7s and stuff are gonna think they can eat you for lunch. And if you position yourself correctly and you use your terrain and use the buildings to your advantage, you can take out those Tier 7s without any problems. Then that's because this gun is so awesome at 167 pen, 300 damage. It's really an awesome gun. You do have to use it to hit weak points if you're going up against Tier 7s and 8s, but it's still awesome. So basically, let's look over the stats here. 860 hit points, that's pretty good. That's right up there with other Tier 6 heavies. I think it's 10 lower than the M6, but it's like 40 points higher than the ARL-44. So they're all about the same in the 800 and something range. 560 horsepower, pushing 53 tons. That's why it's a little slow. It's actually fairly sluggish. But again, you're really going to try to use that big gun. So it doesn't matter too much that you're a little slow. And it also means do not press in on mediums. They will get around you and start circling you. So you want to keep them at range a little bit. And that's why I really like this 107. It can snipe a little bit. It has decent accuracy for a Russian gun. If you use this derp, you don't have much accuracy at all, but you're going to hit them really hard. Again, the reload speed is very tiny, so you better make sure you kill them in one shot. Anyway, so speed limit 35, I get in the mid 20s. Traverse speed at 18 is really, really bad, and that's actually with the upgraded tracks. Combined with 16 turret traverse, this tank is very easy to circle. That's only 34 total traverse. Very, very bad. Even the lot higher tier heavies have much better traverse than this. This is one of the most sluggish tanks in the game. So remember, keep your distance a little bit. Pop a guy, and then hopefully you can reload by the time he tries to come up on you again. Aim for the tracks. If they're going to be trying to circle you, just pop them in the tracks, and then get a better position on them. This tank can wreck people if you know how to play it right. It's an amazing tank. 330 view range, not too bad for a Tier 6. It's not real high, but it's really not that bad. It's about middle, I think. 440 signal range, it's okay. It's not nothing to write home about, but it's okay. You don't get a better radio, so 440 is all you get. Hopefully, some people on your team have better radios than that. So here are your two radios to pick from. 360 is barely going to cut it, and 440 is kind of okay. This should get you pretty much through all the games, but 360 is not going to be enough. You need this 10 RK. The tracks, a little bit of a traverse increase a little bit by 2 degrees. And sorry about that. I just realized I had the stock tracks on when I was talking about traverse, so it's got 36, which is still not much. It's still very easy to circle. In fact, that's the best way to kill one of these tanks. So all you get really is a 2 degree per second increase out of this thing, because you can load this 107 without the turret and without the tracks. So you don't need either of these pieces to load what I consider the best gun on this tank. So the tracks are really just for that slight degrees per second, the traverse increase, and you probably get a little bit better mobility on like rough ground and stuff like that. Stats that aren't really shown here. Engine, you're going to start with a 500 horsepower engine, even the first upgrade. But once you get 560, it's going to help a little bit. It's not a huge increase, but it's going to feel a little less sluggish and a little bit better acceleration. It'll get you out of a couple of tight binds if people are trying to get in close on you, as far as being able to maneuver and not get flanked too bad. The turret is really not much of an increase at all, except for this 10-meter view range, which is really nothing. Again, another 2 degrees per second increase in turret, bringing the total upgrade to 4 degrees per second, which is really nothing. You go from 32 to 36, so it's really not much of an increase. And you don't need this turret to get the big gun. All you get out of this turret is some hit points. Let's look at this. So you get 50 hit points, which is not even 10%. So it's not worth getting, really. What I did is I had this thing pretty much fully unlocked when I got this tank. I think I had to unlock the turret. I didn't have the turret, so I already had the 107 on there. It was not that big of a deal, and so I also might have had to get the tracks. I'm not positive, but all you really need to get is this 107. Once you get that, the rest of it's just kind of gravy. Yeah, you get some slight increases, but you really just want to get this 107. Now let's talk about guns. And this starter gun, 61 pen, 450 damage, is a derp. The mini derp, it's decent. I had to use this on T150 for a while. The damage is really underwhelming, but it's still decent. The only great thing about it is you'll be able to hit tier 7, 8s, and 9s without a problem. As long as you, again, shoot at weak points and, gun or hatches and stuff like that, you'll still get at least probably 100 damage. Once you get the big derp, I usually go right for the 107, and we'll talk about this later, but since it is just right up there, you can unlock it right away. I go for it first, and that's because this 167 pen is ridiculous on a tier 6. It is the best tier 6 gun in the game. It was awesome at tier 5. It's still awesome at tier 6. It still feels, to me, a little overpowered. The German guns, the short 88s, are 132. That is way lower than 167, and it's very, very, very noticeable. The short 88 has a hard time with other tier 6s and has a really hard time with tier 7s and 8s. 300 damage is also pretty awesome with the 6.19 reload rate. It's not very high of a reload rate. If you're not used to it, it's going to feel very weird, but this is a normal reload rate for big heavies, so you'll get used to it real quick. So let's talk about the KV-2 research tree, and the way you get... First, let's talk about the overall Russian tree. Now, the way you get to the KV-2 is through the KV-1, and the KV-2 is kind of like the KV-13 over here. It's a branch. It's like a branch off the main line here. I don't recommend it if you're just trying to power toward the tier 10 heavy tanks. What I would probably do, grab the KV-1, grind out one of these two lines here. If you want to go up the IS-4 or the IS-7, just pick a line, grind up that line, and while you have some extra cash, maybe play the KV-1, keep playing it, unlock the KV-2, and then you can have fun with it and unlock it, maybe go up this SPG line. And look at that, you can skip a ton of SPGs by doing that KV-2. But if you want, you can go right to the KV-2, and you can still go down this IS-4 line. You can still get back to the heavy line. But you can already do that with the KV-1. I don't know, it probably will be easier to unlock from the KV-2, though, because, let's see, it's 13,000, and it's 24,000. It will actually be easier from the KV-2 line. So that's actually not bad, and that's kind of cool. But look at that, S51, 123,000. I did that grind on the original KV. It was tough. Anyway, that's the overall tech tree. So if you do come to here, you've already played through the KV-1. You're gonna have this at the minimum, this engine and this radio, and that's it really. The KV-2 is kind of a new beast, and so you don't have a lot of stuff unlocked. Obviously, you're going to want to go right for this 107, and that's because you don't need anything else to load it. It's a really badass gun, and check this out. You can use it on the KV-3 and the KV-4 and the T150, so definitely unlock it now. I mean, if you're already on the KV-2 and you have not gone up the other lines, definitely unlock that 107. Don't just go straight for the derp and skip it. Unlock the 107. It's an amazing gun. After the 107, I would probably get... That's a tough one. I'd probably get the tracks because I think the tracks are going to give you a little, well, man, the engine, I don't know. I'd probably just get tracks. It's cheaper. Get tracks, then get engine, then get this turret, and then after that I get the 152 derp. Now, if you really like the 152 and you don't care for this 107, get the derp first. That's fine. I don't think it's going to be as good of an idea because this 107 is best. This will work in any battle you get into. The derp, not so much. It's great for on lower tiers. You're going to hit them super hard. On higher tiers, it's very unreliable. And so I like this gun almost every time. It's over 200 damage no matter what. And so I like to use this 107. So that's pretty much the tech tree, how I would do it. 107, tracks, engine, turret, everything else, tank of choice, and that's the tech. Back from research here, and I don't get equipment on these tanks, but if I did get equipment, I would definitely get Vent, Obvious, and that is the class 3 that'll go all the way up the line. The large caliber tank rammer, I would get that. And then I would get the, what was it? Not the spall liner. I'd probably just get a toolbox because your crew probably won't be that great. What else would I get on this tank? They don't really have any. It doesn't really have anything else that's good. I would get the Vert Stab later on up the tiers, but this thing doesn't get anything like that. Maybe just Binox, but you won't be. Well, you should be standing still at some time. Sometimes you will because you're going to be waiting for people, and that'll help your view range with spotting and stuff. I'd probably get Binox. Now, if you don't want to spend gold, obviously it's Camo, Binox, and Toolbox. That's pretty much what you're going to put on this tank if you don't want to spend gold to move the equipment around. And that's actually not a bad idea, especially when they do the half-off equipment. Pick up a couple of these cheap ones that you can move around for no gold and just throw them on some lower-tier tanks. This is pretty good now that the HE's been buffed, 40 to 10 here. I might even go 42 and 8. That's a little too much HE. You don't really need it with a 167 pen gun. The nice thing about the derp is, and this 122, you don't get an ammo choice. Everything's HE. So you never have to switch ammo. You never have to worry about having enough rounds of either. Everything's HE. That's kind of nice. So I would probably go 42-8 actually. For tiers 5 and 6, I only put one small repair kit for consumables, and that's because it doesn't make sense to spend so much money on these cheaper tanks where you're not going to earn enough really to make back the money you're spending. Your crew will not look like this. I got this crew at 100% when they gave me the tank because I got the tank for free and you got 100% crew with it for free. So just in the time I was unlocking the turret and maybe the tracks or whatever else it was, I got 46% on repair. Now the only thing I would actually do different, I did a lot of skill research when I did the IS-7 video, and even after I did that video, is I would go mentor first. Well, I would go mentor first for your commander. Get that mentor going as soon as possible. With a 6-man crew, that's only going to drop your repair rate by a sixth. And so that's not that big of a deal. Because at 100%, your repair rate will increase your repair speed by 50%. So you losing a sixth of that is approximately, what's that? Sixth is 15%. So like 7% off your repair speed. It's going to hardly be noticeable. But having mentor from the get-go on your commander when you hit 100% is going to be amazing. You're going to train up 10% faster. It's going to be really nice to unlock these skills as quickly as you can. A lot of people say it's not worth it. Oh, you're only going to save, out of 3,000 battles, you only save 300. Hey, that's 300 less battles. That means you're going to have a way better crew 300 battles before the other guy. It's definitely worth it. So that's crew, and let's get into this. This is a battle where I show you kind of what to do when you're going up against tier 7s. I already kind of talked about it in the garage. Well, I talked about it a lot, actually. And this is actually not that bad of matchmaking. It can get a lot worse. As you can see, there's only 2 tier 7s per side, and then the rest are tier 6 and below. And tier 6s are nothing for this tank to deal with. In fact, if I was a top tier tank, nobody would be a threat. I could mow everybody down. But with these tier 7s, they do have better guns, and that's usually what this tank fears, is slightly better guns. Guns that can match this gun, actually. But you'll see how I deal with these tier 7s in this game. Now, I can't remember what map this is called. Again, I made these videos before 7.4 came out, so I don't have... These are just actually me frapsing over the gameplay before I switched over to 7.4. So we've got an M6 here. Boom! Nice shot really quickly on that 75 on the move. This is a great spot. I sit at this spot almost every time I get this map until the battle gets going, because this is a great little corner to shoot into. Lots of tanks cross that path, and you can also back up very quickly and get behind cover. So, bam! Another shot on the IS right there. He does get a super nice hit on me with the 122, but the IS should not be driving sideways, first of all, and he needs to respect this tank. I hit him again, kind of in the top part of the upper plate, and look at, now we're almost both at the same percentage. Not the smartest thing to be taking on this tank and not giving it respect. Although he did get almost a 500, he must have the 122 because I think it has 490 damage. I like that gun on the IS, by the way. So not a great shot. If I'd have aimed in a little more, would have hit him, but he was already backing up. So right here, I'm kind of just trying to stay alive. I'm trying to not be the focus of that IS. One more shot and he'd kill me. So the M6 gets a lucky shot on the engine, catches me on fire. Ammo goes out, and now this tank is going to be firing very slowly. I think I fixed, yeah, okay, I fixed the rack. The rack is the main thing you want to fix when you get hit like that. Maybe he had HE loaded, because that was a lot of damage. I knew the damage was from fire, but still. Here comes the M6. Oh, he's behind that building. So those tier 7s are getting surrounded right here, and I stayed back, and now I'm almost dead, so I need to make sure that if I go in, nobody's going to be shooting at me. In this kind of a little matchup right here, I'll be looking over buildings to see where people's turrets are. Yeah, see, I can see he's aiming at those other guys, shooting right in the side of the turret to take him out. I knew he was a one-shot kill. Right here, I'm looking over the building to see where the Tiger's turret is. I know he's not facing me. Boom, I take him out as well. So that's really all they could have done there, is try not to get surrounded. If they would have went after me, because I was almost dead, they would have then had people at their backside. So they did do that right. They just got surrounded because we have better tankers. Also, that IS should not have been... Just because you're top tier doesn't mean you can just be reckless. You still need to play as if everybody's a threat. I mean, you don't just roll out there and start getting shot, because, like, I took a bunch of hit points off that IS and I whittled him down a lot. I got 2 hits on him when he should have been paying more attention to me and not getting hit by this big gun. So 1,000-point game, pretty nice. Okay amount of credits. I mean, that's pretty standard, I guess. It could have been a lot better, but I didn't get that many shots on people. I obviously didn't get any medals or anything. And damaged, or killed IS and the Tiger, and damaged the 75 and the M6. Pretty good game for this tank. 2 kills. This game was a lot of fun. This is a game I actually did while I was doing live stream, and as you can see in this game, we're up with tier 9s and some tier 8s. And I did do a little bit of fast forwarding here because it takes us a long time. Z-Chen didn't get into the battle for a while. So this is Commander Czar, myself, and Z-Chen during the live stream. And I'm going to be trying to do that more. I've just had a hectic schedule lately, so Fridays have been booked. Now, with 3 KV-2s, with all have the 107, we are definitely a wolf pack to be reckoned with, even in a tier 8-9 game. And that's because if we can flank, we can do lots of damage. Now, I think I must have missed that 90, because he would have been hurting a lot worse if I had connected with that guy. So I'd say, you know what, let's just go middle. Nobody's going to be expecting 3 KV-2s up in the middle. And with our guns, 167 pen, 300 damage guns, we're going to be wrecking people up there. Usually it's the lights and the scouts, maybe those Hellcats will be up there. Which those Hellcats are dangerous, but... Or one of them's an M36, actually. M18 and an M36. And M18... Well, one of the TDs is at D1. So here's that 90. He just got lit up by me. Again, totally ignoring me. Not a good idea. Don't ignore this tank. Boom! Pays the price in your face. So I'm telling these guys, let's go. Come on, go up the middle. They're kind of scared. They were just going to hang back at base and snipe. I'm like, let's go, man. Let's go up the center. Nobody's even up here, really. So they're like, alright. I said, don't just hang at base. That's going to get... While you're not shooting at somebody, and you're just waiting for enemy to get to your base, you're basically waiting for the enemy to have the advantage, because by the time, if you're only like 2-3 tanks at base, by the time the enemy actually gets to you, it means your whole team already lost, and you're going to lose the game, no matter how good you think you are. Don't just sit at base, especially if you're heavies. There's no point to do that. By the time someone gets... Okay, so, can't believe I did not pen the M36. He is up here in the center. So we got a VK2801, which is not a big deal. I don't know what that heavy is. It's pulling up the other side of the city. But I'm going to try to clear out the center area. So 28-1 gets a nice 350 damage shot right to his hull. One more shot, he's going to die. I don't think he has the big gun, because I think it would have hurt a lot worse than that. Or he didn't get a good shot on me. M36 is I mean, there is no doubt that I am 2 times as good as an M36 in this tank. The M36 does get the 90mm gun, which is a pretty good gun, but if it's actually in somebody's face, it has no armor and its mobility is not that great, not good enough to get out of a bad situation. So I catch him here trying to make a move. Boom! More than half his life, 340 damage. Now both of these guys are one shot away from me killing them. And I keep getting bounce shots, which is nice. Now I'll show you where to hit these M36, M4, any tank with a bulbous, any American tank with a bulbous front. Don't hit the bulbous lower section, hit that top part. Nice hit right there. He's dead. So I'm saying, hey commander, kill this guy. I'll let you take the shot. He kills him. Okay, well, I was gonna go shoot at those guys, but we're having problems here with the M4 down here, set in 1945. So Z Chen's getting jacked up pretty good by this guy, and for some reason he's got a gun that's only doing 90 damage, the 1945, which means he did not invest the XP in getting a nice gun. This is a horrible gun. Now Chen is not paying attention. He rams me here. I was trying to block this shot from this 1945, couldn't get in the way quick enough, and Zen dies. So a lot of that, again, that's that situational awareness. I told him even during the live stream that I was going to try to block the shot, but I must not have made it. Actually, yeah, I should have said it over platoon, but I wasn't thinking right then. I was just trying to hurry up and get in front of that tank. So we've pretty much wrecked these guys already. The guys on 1 and 8 lanes tore it up, and we also tore it up in the center there. We got 5 kills between our platoon, which is pretty good for being tier 6s in a tier 9 game. Not too bad at all. And there's the cap. Again, I have the stock turret because it doesn't really matter. So 1250 point game, pretty nice. Maybe 1300 point game actually. Nice amount of credits. Obviously not getting any medals in this kind of game. Killed 2, damaged 2, detected 2. Great game. 6 out of 8 shots. Nice game, and I hope you liked this video.